So I'm Matt, and along with Eric, I've set this up to have this dialogue with you, and I just wanted to take a minute and explain what it means to me to follow Jesus. Since that's one of the things we're doing here, we're explaining what the scriptures say about who God is, but we're also talking about what it means to us to be Christian. And so I wanted to tell you my story. I was raised by Christian parents, but in Christianity, you don't inherit faith from your parents. They're Christian doesn't mean you're a Christian. And so they teach you things. And so I learned from my parents what it meant to be a Christian, but at some point I had to pick that for myself. And I did when I was around 5 or 6. I knew that Jesus had died for my sins, that I wasn't good enough to earn my way to heaven. And so I decided to follow Jesus. Over time, though, I found that I was living my own life and paying less attention to the commands of Jesus and the teachings of God in Scripture. Particularly when I was in college, I was doing a lot of things that you shouldn't be doing, and I knew that because I had been raised better. So I had this sense of shame because I knew the things I were doing were wrong, but I was in them, and I didn't know how to get out of them. And that went on for a long time, and I just carried that kind of shame. And even when I started following God again and doing the things I was supposed to do, I still carried that, because no matter what good I did, it didn't undo the bad things I had done, and I struggled with that. And recently, maybe even like within the last 10 years, I recognized something that changed that. I was in advertising, and I thought at the time that what made me different from the other advertising salespeople was that I was a Christian. But my identity was salesperson. And I was reading a book, and I came to the realization that my identity should be Jesus. My identity should be Christian. That's who I am. And what makes me different from other Christians is that I'm in advertising sales. But my core thing, who I am, should be follower of Christ. And so when I had that shift, I decided that I needed to pour everything into being a Christ follower. So I learned to become submitted to God in a whole new way. I started pouring myself into reading the scriptures and praying and studying. And over the last 10 years, I've learned to just pursue God as He pursues me, and learn about Him and love Him in all these new ways. And what I found is He took the shame away. The Bible teaches that our shame that we have on us because of sin can be replaced when Jesus covers us in His goodness. So when God looks at us, He doesn't look at the things we did. He looks at who we are now, and He sees Jesus and His goodness, and judges us by that, by who we are now in Jesus rather than who we were before. And so I have a new identity, and my shame has been covered. And I have the honor of God now that He's given to me because I've chosen to follow Him, and it's the best. And so ever since then, I've had this freedom. I still make mistakes. I'm not perfect, but I know when I do a thing that's wrong, I can just take it to God and confess it, and He will cover it again and teach me how to be different. And so over time, I become more and more and more like the person that God has designed me to be, and less and less sinful things need to be covered, but they can be. And so I know when I make a mistake, I can just go to God and receive forgiveness, and then He encourages me to just get back out and do it right, and gives me the power of His Spirit to surround me and help me to do that. So to me, that's what it means to be a Christian, is to know what it means to be submitted to God, pursue that with everything in my heart and in my soul, but know that when I fall short, God's there to forgive me. And because of Jesus, I'm viewed differently, not by what I did, but by who I am now as a follower of Jesus. And I'm just so excited by that. And just every day I start my day by praying, by reading the scriptures for an hour, maybe 2 hours. And I look forward to it every morning because I know I'm going to learn new things. So that's what it means to be a follower of Christ to me. That's what my walk looks like. Not everyone's looks the same, but that's who I am, and that's how I view it. And so I hope you learn from me. This is what it can look like to be a follower of Jesus. I know, again, that this channel is set up to just kind of lay things out there. And this is what Scripture teaches, and this is what some people think a walk with Jesus looks like. And we're just putting it out there because people have questions. And this is my response. What does it look like to follow Jesus? For me, it looks like this.
Thank you for watching. If you want to get notifications when we put out a new video, click subscribe, click the bell, and like our channel. And email any questions that you have to question@ericandmattofthebook.com.